This was the good side. This is the bad side. Wheel housings, and we had to make a decision what we were going to do with them. And they're pretty buggered. They're fixable, but they're a tricky fix because of this profile here and the fact that it drops into a radius. So it was always going to take a lot of effort, and this is the good one. So it's going to need a full wheel arch, and it was going to need a back in it, and it was going to need a front in it as well. So I wasn't really looking forward to fixing those, and right from the start, when we started working on the Statesman, you could see that these were in bad shape. So I was thinking all along, that's going to be an interesting challenge. So luckily we got our donor car. So we ended up pilfering the wheel housings out of those. So that was way better than trying to fix the original rusty ones. These had some issues as well. You can see we've had to put a piece in, but just making that one piece, that was kind of tricky to make that little piece there. So we just put a bottom in the back of it, a bottom in the front of it, and that piece there. Oh, and we've got to fill that part there because the wagon, so it has the same wheel housing in the wagon as it does in the Statesman, so the part's the same, but the fuel filler in the station wagon comes through here, whereas the Statesman, it goes through the rear number plate. So we'll just fill that hole, and apart from that, the part's the same, regardless of the wagon or of the Statesman. Or the sedan for that matter, they all run the same rear wheel housings as far as I'm aware. They're different left to right, and that's why they're different. They're longer through the rear section on the right hand rear wheel housing, but they use them in all the models whether the fuel filler goes through it or not. Even the Monaro runs the same rear wheel housing. And I was never going to pull them out. I was just going to graft the side of this into the wheel housing on the car. That was always the plan, right up until like the start of last week. And then I realised that it's just got a simple single row of spot welds through there that holds it in the car. So I decided I might as well just pull it out of the car and fix it at the bench, which is always nicer, because this is not that common. That's not typically how they join a wheel housing, like an outer wheel housing to an inner wheel housing. So we shy away from pulling them out because they're normally really complicated, but these ones are great, so we just pluck them out of the car. This is the left hand side, and it's well toasted. So we were genuinely going to fix that, and at the end of it, it would have been a satisfying fix. It would have been nice to retrieve that part, but the labour content in it would have been mental. So that donor car that we got, to be able to pull out those wheel housings, even though they had their own issues, they were way less issues than fixing these. And it's got a seatbelt anchor, and that had failed really badly on Andrew's car as well. So we were going to have to make a new seatbelt anchor and weld it in there. And it's just nice to use the factory one with the factory nut. When it's all done, it'll look like we haven't been there. We are down to the pointy end on this now. It's actually, they're all made. All we've got to do is put the wheel housings back in, get these rear quarters stitched back on the car, which is actually high on our priority list. Then it's start to look great.